Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to today's live reading of The Secrets of Arkaim by B.E. Padgett, presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Join me. The title, Chapter 1, Amur Bay, Russia. Dr. Markovic flipped the large basin over and ran her hand along its curved center. At first touch, the ancient ceramic had sent a small jolt through her entire body. Perhaps people of a prior civilization had used this to wash their faces and hands. Maybe it had some ceremonial use. The prospect of unlocking its history sent a thrill of excitement down her spine. This basin was something special. She tucked her loose brown hair back into her messy bun and then adjusted her glasses to examine the deep scratches on the basin's surface. As an archaeologist, she knew the markings could have multiple meanings. They could be pictographs, images that told a story, or they could be merely decorative. As her soft dusting brush flicked into the creases of the bowl, an extraordinary sensation slithered through her. Everything went silent. The voices of her dig team faded, birds stopped chirping, even the low hum of nature fell away, as if a bubble of sound protection had closed over her. Interesting. She jotted down her impressions in the notebook teetering on her knee. Brown ceramic basin, 18 inches long by 4 inches deep, appears to hold significant psychic energy. Telepathy interaction confirmed, indicates support for theory about Arkaim. A hand tapped her shoulder, interrupting her note-taking. She lowered the bowl into the plastic bin next to her. As soon as her fingers released it, her world once again filled with noise. Doctor, a man above her said, I think you'll want to see this. She stood and dusted the dirt off her knees and then followed him to the excavation site on the south side field. The south side trench was about 4 feet deep, measured by rope and string, with each section carefully marked. As the doctor approached, another member of the excavation team grabbed their instruments and moved back to reveal what they had found. Oh my, Dr. Markovic let the word slip as she stared into the hole, counting the number of symbols surrounding the cramped dig site. Kneeling, she reached down to touch one of the several stone pieces. It felt like fire under her skin, and she drew her hand back in shock. A festering energy was spilling from the unearthed artifacts. What had they found? Quick, uncover them all. She waved her hand, and her crew rushed to work. Her team was dedicated. They knew this could be what they were looking for. Proof Arkaim was the site of the ancestors, a dead civilization of perceptually gifted people who had come before them. Not even the lateness of the day could prevent their efforts. As night settled, the generators and flood lamps turned on, fully revealing the excavated relics. Dr. Markovic couldn't believe it. There were 7 of them. 7 stone plates, each with a Bible on it, the symbol of the Society of the Perceptually Gifted. The convention, Chapter 2. It was raining, again. Not a great time to travel on the road. On top of that, the only snacks left were baby carrots, and the noise of his siblings was deafening in the packed minivan. But none of this bothered Franklin. He was too excited about their destination. John, give Clara back her book, Eugene cried from the back seat. Frank glanced back to see his twin brother smirking at him, holding a brightly colored book titled Learn Your ABCs. Calm yourself there, Jeannie. I was just going to read it to her. Boys, do I have to come back there? Dad warned from the passenger seat. A space-themed ringtone started going off. My phone! John patted down his pockets. They're 11. I'm 13, and you won't let me have a cell phone. Eugene crossed his arms. For their birthday, Frank and John had each gotten a cell phone, much to the uproar of their older brother. Soon enough, Eugene. Your brothers go to a school far away, and we need to be able to contact them. Plus, having a phone makes it easier for them to stay in touch with their friends, Dad said. Hi, Mira, John answered the call. Wait, let me put you on video. Leaning over to the middle seat, John positioned the phone so Frank could see Mira's face. Hey, guys, when are you getting here? Mira smiled while fiddling with her dark brown curls. Tell her we're about 2 hours out, Mom shouted from the driver's seat. I can hear you, Mrs. Reed. I can't wait till you're here. I don't see anyone I know, though Dad seems to know everyone at the convention so far. Frank had been looking forward to the convention for what felt like ages. The multi-day gathering of gifted people and their families was held secretly each year in a different state. This year, it was in Jacksonville, Florida, close enough for Frank's family to attend. It made sense that Mira's father would be so popular at the convention. Mr. Camacho was on the school board for West Hills, the only school for perceptually gifted children, the school Frank had missed over the summer. His experiences at West Hills made being home seem dull in comparison. Even his friends Jessica and Carver had been a little distant. They had made new friends over the past year, and although he and Jon had hung out with them a couple of times over the summer, the twins couldn't tell them much about their new school or their special gifts. It's to protect our people, Mom had told them. You never know who has good intentions and who doesn't. Other people, they just don't understand us. The only things that kept Frank from dying of loneliness were his siblings and his new phone, which let him talk with his friends Mira, Nathan, and Damien. It would be good to see Mira again. When they finally arrived at the convention hotel a little over 2 hours later, Frank's loud family, who had been stuck all day in close quarters, poured out of the minivan to stretch their arms and legs. Everyone grabbed for their luggage at once as soon as Dad opened the back of the car. The mad scramble nearly started an avalanche of suitcases. Frank set the wheels of his new roller luggage on the ground, then followed everyone inside to the check-in counter. His mouth dropped open at the sight of the hotel's atrium. A glass roof covered an enormous courtyard, which one could view every level of the 16-story building. Several hotel guests peered down at him from their rooms' inward-facing balconies. The courtyard's sparkling marble floors were broken up by large landscape sections slush with greenery. A large fig tree scaled up several floors with tiny twinkling lights that reminded Frank of fireflies woven into its branches. This had to be the nicest place he had ever stayed. His family didn't travel often, going anywhere with 5 children was expensive, but his parents had managed to take them to Disney World once, since it was within driving distance, and they could stay at their Aunt Franny's house in Orlando. Look, Frank, Jon pointed to the symbol on the banner hanging over the lobby, a crying eye surrounded by 6 spurs in a sun-like pattern. Esther! Each spur had a dot at its end. Another 2 dots swirled around its eye, while 2 wavy lines shot out from its side. It was the West Hills school symbol. What's that doing here? The school logo is also called a Tybal, Mom said. Our people use the Tybal as a symbol of our community. It goes back thousands of years. The hotel staff seemed nonchalant about a crowd of gifted people gathering on their premises. There was probably a new convention at the hotel each week. None of the staff appeared curious about the true meaning of the symbol. Perhaps they assumed it had religious affiliations or was the emblem of some educational institution. Frank reached into his shirt for the stardust stone hanging from his neck, unconsciously rubbing the smooth surface of the pendant. Dr. Harrison had given it to him last year so he could control his telepathic powers outside of school. The stardust stone had held back unwanted voices. He didn't wear it at home. The voices of his family were easy to manage, but hearing thousands of people at the convention would be overwhelming, especially since many of them also have the ability to read minds. Frank rolled his small luggage bag into their family hotel suite. The suite consisted of 2 bedrooms, a small kitchen area, and a living room. The walls were a soft orange color, and black and gold throw pillows adorned the white furniture. All right, Eugene and Peter get the bunks in the first room. Clara gets the twin bed, and Frank and Jon will share the pull-out bed, Mom said before anyone could call dibs. Frank and Jon both glanced at the hide-a-bed couch and shrugged. Better than rooming with Eugene. What's for dinner? Peter asked, his nose buried in a wrinkle in time. Clara sat on her suitcase, combing the fur of her teddy bear, but Frank noticed her head lift at the mention of dinner. I could eat just about anything right now, Eugene moaned. Recently, he seemed to be eating more, and his arms and torso were becoming stockier. I'll take that bet, Jon laughed. Don't be a jerk, Jon. Eugene glared at him. Okay, boys, I'll see if we can get some pizza delivered. Dad's announcement was met with cheers. This is a hotel. We have neighbors, kids, Mom reminded them.